What's up, guys? We bring you the latest in the world of sports. The name is Mikey Reyes.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Willie Wilson. In tonight's Game Plan, we'll find out what's at stake for the Ginebra Gin Kings and the Bay Area Dragons as they battle in Game 6 of this PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals.
We'll also check in with the new faces of the Blackwater bossing squad as they get set for the upcoming Governor's Cup. And we'll talk about how Kevin Durant's injury will affect the Brooklyn Nets in the coming weeks. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. The Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings and the Bay Area Dragons are squaring off for Game 6 of the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals. They're right now at the Smart Araneta Coliseum and we are watching it, Coach Willie, because we cannot miss a minute of this. At the half, Bay Area leads 50-42. Can Ginebra take home another championship, Coach, or will we meet each other at the Philippine Arena on Friday?
Man, you are definitely putting me on the spot right here to make a prediction. Let's first talk about the health of both of these teams. You know that Miles Powell was just inserted for the injured Andrew Nicholson. Is he 100%? It's looking like that. He has 14 points already at the half. Ginebra also dealing with some injuries. LA less than 100%. Japeth also dealing with some injuries. But the injury woes favor Ginebra. I think I am making the prediction that Ginebra will close it out tonight.
Wow. Okay, so right there from our guest host analyst, Coach Willie Wilson, Ginebra will take home the chip after 24 minutes of action. But with Ginebra right now, again, you talked about Miles Powell, and this is the first time that they go up against Miles Powell, talking about Ginebra. What do you think they can adjust on coming into the second half? Because like what you said, 14 points already for Miles Powell in the first half.
Well, you know, the emphasis will now come from the perimeter with Andrew Nicholson. He did most of his damage, I'd say about 80% of that damage in the paint. Yeah, he can step out, shoot the three a little bit, but with Miles Powell, he is such a dynamic scorer from the perimeter, attacking. And I just really feel, and I've went on the record with this, with saying that he is a better fit for this team if you have to go with one import than Andrew Nicholson. Why? Because you just allow him to take off the playmaking duties from Glenn Yang. As we saw, Glenn Yang had that bad ankle sprain in Game 4, missed Game 5. He can't do the playmaking all by himself. Miles Powell, you insert him, instant offense. Glenn Yang gets to rest a little bit, and then you get to utilize your locals in Duncan Reed, Big Liu. You already have Zhu. You know, so it just makes the team more well-rounded.
And I feel like Miles Powell is more fit for that Filipino brand of basketball that everybody is, of course, excited about. How about for Ginebra? What do you think they should do offensively maybe? Right now, they've only scored 42 points in the first half. Maybe right at their average, but moving forward offensively, we know that Stanley Pringle went off last game. Who do you see, delivering big baskets in the second half?
Well, okay, we're talking about offense, but I'm going to start with defense, creating offense for them. And we talked about Powell. It's all about bottling up Powell. How are they going to do that? They need to crowd him. They need to try their best to get the ball out of his hands, make his teammates make plays, make his teammates put the ball in the basket, and then just allow that defense to create offense for them. And if they can do that, they get their rhythm, the shots start falling, and then they're just off to the races.
Okay, so now I ask you about, as a coach's perspective, talk about this chess match between Coach Brian and Coach Tim. I believe they bring the best out of each other. And what can you expect maybe in this game, or if we will see each other on Friday?
Well, obviously, you see that Bay Area has the lead right now. Ginebra takes Game 1. It's a seesaw match. Both teams making their adjustments. You see different guys stepping up in every single game. Kobe Lamb had that amazing game, scoring 30 points. I do not see that happening again because he won't have to do that.
Because he won't have the ball.
Oh, because the ball's going to be in Miles Powell's hands. Expect some change-up defenses from both of these teams. They're going to show different looks, trying to throw something out that the other team hasn't seen before. Like right now, Miles Powell, Ginebra has not played against them yet. This is a wrench that Coach Brian is throwing out there for Ginebra, trying to trip them up, and so far it's working.
So Ginebra will take it home.
I'm on the record.
Said a former Gin King.
No, say no bias, but yeah, Ginebra will take it home. After the break, we're going to catch up with Blackwater Bossing's newest players, RK Ilagan and Mike Di Gregorio, as they look ahead to the upcoming PBA conference. Stay tuned. You are watching The Game.
Welcome back to The Game as the Bay Area Dragons are still up by 5 with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. We look ahead to the upcoming PBA conference. The Blackwater Bossings have their sights set on the returning to the playoffs, and joining us tonight are new faces on this squad, the shotgun RK Ilagan and of course Mike DG in a trade, a blockbuster trade with the Converge Fiber Xers. Welcome to The Game, RK and Mike DG. And before we started this show, you said that you've always been wanted to team up with Mike DG and your guys right here on the show with us.
I think I can speak for a lot of players in the PBA to say that, you know, it's a bucket list of mine, and a lot of guys that you would want to play with a guy like Mike Di Gregorio. He's a class act on and off the court, and he just lets his game do the talking with the hard work. And speaking of hard work, you're seeing these finals going on right now. Mike, I'm going to put you out there and give me a prediction. Who takes tonight's game?
I think it's going 7, man.
Yes,
first of all, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on. But yeah, I think it's going 7. I think it's going to Philippine Arena.
That's what everyone wants. What every basketball fan wants is a Game 7. But the Kabarangays, of course, would love to end it today.
Did you just call me a kabarangay?
Let's move on over to RK. RK, kapatid, I've covered you since college. I know that you are ready for any role that is given to you. Pero ang gusto ko unang matanong sa'yo is, nasan ka at ano yung initial reaction mo nung nalaman mo na matitrade ka papuntang Blackwater?
Actually, nasa hoops na ako nun, kuya.
Wow! Mag-ensayo ka na?
Ready na ako mag-training eh. Then, ayun nga, nag-chat yung boss ko na I got traded na. So, ginawa ko na lang opportunity yun para magpaalam sa coaches and sa mga teammates ko.
Oh, yung co-host ko galit sa'yo eh.
Hindi, talagang
Coach Willie.
RK, talagang part ng career of a pro basketball player is to deal with trades. You're gonna play for different coaches, tapos ibang teams, ibang teammates, and we know, seeing you since college and what you've done so far dito sa pro league natin, that you are ready, kagaya yung sinabi ni Kuya Mikey mo, for any challenge waiting for you. Pero so far, have you joined any of the practices with Blackwater? How have the practices been?
Yes po, nag-start na po kami last week. Then, ayun po, masaya naman kasi nandyan si Kuya JB, Kuya Baser na tumutulong sa akin sa mga plays and may mga lectures din sa akin, kumbaga. Kaya malaking tulong din po na may veteran ka na tumutulong sa'yo.
Well, may veteran nga naman na sumama sa'yo sa trade na to. So let's go back to Mike DG. Mike DG, now that you're back with Blackwater, this is another challenge for you. I've seen you work your way up through that PBA ladder, and you've established yourself as one of the best shooters in the league, as well as one of the best wingmen in the league. What challenges are you taking on entering a new team, well, relatively new team for you?
I think the challenge is just trying to give your best and get wins, right? I mean, that's why you play the game, to get wins. So me coming back to Blackwater, obviously there's a lot of familiar faces there that I had spent a lot of time with the last time I was around. So it's not that big of an adjustment, but just trying to get wins, trying to try to do my best to help the team. And obviously, you know, like when I was there earlier, I was a younger player, and now it being in my 7th year, you know, you bring that experience, that veteran leadership to the team, and try to help the team as best as possible.
Well, I mean, there goes Mike again with that selfless attitude, always putting the team first. And again, that's what a lot of coaches, a lot of players really love about you. And again, I'm going to go back to you, Mike, talking about how you are, you know, entering a homecoming of sorts, playing for a coach now that has wanted to pick you up since 2017, where you really gave it to his team, the Phoenix Fuelmasters, scoring your career high 30 points, which is, if I'm not mistaken, still your career high. How do you see yourself? I'll call you a combo guard because you did come in playing the 1. You play the 2 now. How do you see yourself fitting into some type of a crowded backcourt with Becerra Mayer, JV Casio, Rashawn McCarthy? How do you see yourself meshing with those teammates?
I think, you know, meshing with those guys would be easy. You know, like Kuya Jade, I played with before at Alaska. Rashawn, I've known for a little bit. Obviously, Basir was in the same draft class as me, so I've played against him for a long time now. And, all those guys are great players, and honestly, as far as, you know, what you said, like meshing and trying to fit into a loaded backcourt, I think just focusing on the controllables and what you got to do every day to get better, and what you got to do every day to put your work in. And I think when you do that and your mind is clear, everything kind of works itself out.
RK, balik tayo sa iyo. Nung pumasok ka ng San Sebastian nung college, nagpakilala ka, pumasok ka ng PBA, you were in the 4th, 5th round, nagpakilala ka sa Alaska, and then tinuloy mo sa Converge. Ngayon, first time, parang feeling ko first time mo papasok sa team, na alam na nila yung mga expect sa iyo eh. Alam na nila na kaya mo skumork, hindi ka masyadong pumapasa, pero kaya mo shumot. Diba? Pero like, coming into this new system, ano yung first conversation mo with Coach Ariel and how he expects you to play dito sa Blackwater?
Unang-unang sinabi sa akin ni Coach AB na tumira ka lang kasi dito bawal maiya. Yun agad yung bungad ni Coach AB. So, masaya lang ako. So, ang gusto ko lang po, tumulong na in other ways na. Kumbaga, yun na yung goal ko this conference. Kumbaga, makatulong ako sa ibang paraan na.
So, ibig sabihin, ganun pa rin yung role mo, shoot first, shoot second, shoot last. Pero at the same time, the other aspects of your game, sinabi ni Kuya Mikey mo na hindi ka masyado pumapasa, pero
Pumapasa naman siya.
Alam ko pumapasa yan kasi mataas yung assist. Kaya in-scout ko talaga yan. With regards sa sa game mo, offensively, defensively, tapos yung mga minor parts of the game, dribbling, passing, where do you see yourself? Saan ka mag-i-improve the most, and ano yung goal mo mag-i-improve sa sarili mo this coming conference?
I think yung weakness ko po depensa. So, yun yung goal ko this conference na magkaroon ako ng sarili ko na makakontain po ako. So, dagdagan ko lang yung effort ko palagi po. Yun ganun lang.
And I want to say this about both these guys because they're both two of the hardest workers in the league in terms of shooting the basketball after practice, before practice, skills-wise, pareho din kayo nag-extra work. Medyo meron bang konting, uy, buti na lang kasama ko si Mike or buti na lang kasama ko si RK kasi we can help each other get adjusted to Blackwater. Is there parang na may konti bang relief na may kasama ako dun sa trade? Let's start with Mike.
For me po,
Go ahead.
okay. For me, sobrang laking tulong po kasi si Kuya Mike D, ever since rookie ko, he's helping me na to improve my shooting lang. So, binibigyan niya ako ng mga guides. So, sobrang saya and magaan sa feeling na kasama ko si Kuya Mike D.
And that's one of the main reasons, again, I'm talking about that bucket list,
Yeah.
why I wanted to play with Mike, because that is a major area in my game that was lacking, that shooting, that outside shooting. Actually, I couldn't shoot past 5 feet. And I think, Mike, man, you would have helped me tremendously, and I wouldn't have had to hear that rant in the locker room after you gave us that 30 piece. But going back to you, Mike, what are your goals for this coming conference, aside from just winning? Personal goals. Come on, get selfish with me. Let me know.
Obviously, like I have a competitive spirit about me. I got a little chip on my shoulder, and I hear and see things, and obviously I'm motivated. I'm motivated as I've always been, but there's a little edge to it, trying to let people know that reminder of I guess what it is, and so yeah, I'm motivated. I'm ready to go. Obviously, that comes with the day-to-day preparation. So you just got to make sure that you take it day by day. What do I have to do today in order to get to the end goal, the finish line? So yeah, I'm super motivated to show again why I lasted this long.
Well, one thing's for sure, we're all excited to see the Blackwater Bossings in the upcoming PBA conference. Thank you, RK. Thank you, Mike, for joining us. And after the break, we'll find out the impact of not having Kevin Durant on the floor for the second seed Brooklyn Nets. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
are watching the game 2 whole weeks. That is the minimum amount of time that we will not be seeing KD on the court after an MCL sprain to his right knee. We are here to talk about the implications of that injury to himself and the team.
Well, first and foremost, we know that Brooklyn has been hooping lately. They're number 2 in the East right now. And when you lose a talent like KD, obviously it's going to take a hit, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But, you know, the NBA season is obviously a long season, so there are a lot of things that can happen. And, of course, they still have Kyrie there. And timeout, I'm not the NBA All-Star analyst, so I want to hear your thoughts about this injury.
Well, I think it is a very, very big injury. I think that it has implications, maybe not playoff implications, because it is not as severe as the injury that he had last season. Keep in mind, this is the same injury that he had last season before the All-Star break. I am no doctor, obviously. You know, I did not get my medical degree. But what we are hearing is that unlike last season, which was a grade 2 MCL sprain, which I have also dealt with in my career, his sprain now is a grade 1.
Okay.
And they are just holding him out to be reevaluated after 2 weeks. As a precaution, they want to keep him fresh for the long run, for the stretch run. Obviously, we want to see him in the All-Star game.
Yep.
I want to see him in the All-Star game.
And I believe he's in the voting. I mean, the first ballots came in, and he's part of that lineup. Kevin Durant this season has been averaging close to 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 5.3 assists. So the thing is, he will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. But like last year, he missed 6 straight weeks, and there's optimism that he won't miss that much games. Looking at their current situation, they're number 2 in the East. What do you think? How are they looking without Kyrie, at least in the next 6 weeks?
Well, I definitely see their record dropping.
Okay.
They will not be number
same.
2.
They won't be the same.
They will not be number 2 in the East after the All-Star break. I'm writing that down right now. They will drop to maybe at the very most the 5th seed.
5th seed, okay.
Okay.
Still not bad.
No, that's still not bad. You know, you don't want to drop any lower than number 6. You want that outright berth into the playoffs, but still, you know, again, it's a long season, like you said. They're only separated from number 3, 4, and 5 by 1 game.
Yeah.
So you lose 2 games, you're number 5.
I want to know though. I mean, you've been in the PBA for so long. You lose a superstar like KD. I'm sure you've dealt with injuries to your main men when you were playing. Unless you were the main man in that team.
No, never.
So what was that?
Never.
What was that mindset coming in, knowing that maybe Mark Kagiwa wouldn't be able to play? I don't know the other superstars that you played with.
I played with JJ Helderbrand. Eric. I played with a plethora of stars. I can name them all. Actually, I'll throw some names out. Eric Mink, you know, Billy Mamarill, all of these
Mike
big
Cortez
names.
in college.
Mike Cortez. So basically, it's a next man up mentality. You have guys on that bench that can put the ball in the basket, namely Joe Harris, Seth Curry, TJ Warren. All of these guys need to step up, and I'm sure that all of these guys will step up. We saw TJ Warren in the bubble get buckets, and we've seen him at times this season get buckets, and I can see, you know, once he gets the minutes, he will start getting buckets. Another guy there is Patty Mills. No stranger to putting the ball in the basket. So it's a next man up mentality. They just need to know that, you know what? I'm going to get the minutes now. I'm going to get the shots. Yes, the number 1 option is still Kyrie Irving, but I will now get my touches.
Yeah, and you talked about the numbers being called here for different players. You brought up Kyrie. Kyrie, he can be a superstar in any given team. We've seen him ball out now after all the drama and all that. It looks like he's already focused in the game. What will this mean also for the confidence, at least, of Kyrie? They may lose some games without KD, but entering the playoffs, you already know you need that confident Kyrie coming in.
Well, I don't think Kyrie Irving ever lacked confidence, and I'm talking to you, Kyrie. We know that you're a shoot-first guy. You know, get on my man's podcast right here, but Kyrie never, ever lacked confidence. What he is lacking, though, is that ability to carry his team by himself. So he was quoted saying that we're going to play more of a team-based style of basketball, meaning, you know, you're going to see something similar to what Utah is doing, or or something similar to what Golden State is doing, where you're going to see a lot of cuts, a lot of passing. You're still going to see your Kyrie Irving highlight isolations because he has to give that to us because we want to see the highlights.
Well, yeah, it's something that we can be excited about for Brooklyn. These the next 6 weeks. We'll see what happens. But looking at the score right now, the game is tied with 1 minute to go in the third between Ginebra and Bay Area. Again, we may see each other again on Friday for this one. But it was a good discussion with you. It was nice working with you finally, Coach.
Yeah, man. This is again a bucket list of mine also. And let's move away from the hardwood and let's get into the ring as we take a look at the upcoming 1FC events happening this Saturday, January 14, live on One Sports.
Isang matinding pagsalubong para sa 2023.
Flatline Giorgio Petrosian to capture the Featherweight Kickboxing World
One
Championship.
Featherweight Kickboxing World Champion Superbon Singamawin.
He has done it. The dream comes true.
Ipagtatanggol ang titulo laban kay One Featherweight Kickboxing World Grand Prix Champion Genghis Alizam. One Fight Night 6, Saturday, January 14, 10 a.m. live sa One Sports.
And I want to thank you for joining us. I am Willie Wilson.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. The name is Mike Reyes. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace and love. And this has been The Game.